Hello everyone, in this video, we are going to understand the complete architecture of Zscaler Private Access, also known as ZPA. We will start by understanding why ZPA was introduced and how it differs from traditional remote access VPN solutions. Then we will discuss the major components involved in ZPA such as Zscaler Client Connector, ZCC, Broker, Service Edge, Dispatcher, and App Connector. Finally, we will walk through the complete packet flow and understand how ZPA provides secure application access while hiding both client and server IP addresses. Let's get started. Why was ZPA introduced? Let's take a look at why this was necessary. Before understanding ZPA, let's first understand how traditional remote access VPN works. In a traditional VPN architecture, a remote user establishes a VPN tunnel to a firewall or VPN gateway located in the data center. Behind that firewall sits the entire corporate network, including servers, applications, databases, and other internal resources. Once the VPN connection is established, the user effectively becomes part of the internal network. This means the user can potentially reach multiple internal resources. The client receives visibility into internal IP addresses. DNS queries return actual server IP addresses. Servers can see the real source IP address of the user. For example, if a user performs an NS lookup for an internal application, the DNS server returns the actual IP address of that server. Because of this, the user gains network-level access rather than application-level access. This approach introduces several security concerns. This approach leads to excessive network exposure for the corporate environment. Consequently, this leads to an increased attack surface across the entire infrastructure, risk of lateral movement if a device is compromised, visibility of internal infrastructure to end users. To solve these challenges, Zscaler introduced ZPA. How is ZPA different from traditional VPN? ZPA follows a zero-trust architecture. Instead of providing access to an entire network, ZPA provides access only to specific applications that the user is authorized to access. For example, consider how application-level access works in practice. A user may be allowed to access app1.company.com and crm.company.com, but nothing else. The user never gains network-level access. Only application-level access is provided. The major advantages of ZPA are as follows. No network exposure. Users cannot discover the internal network. No server IP visibility. Users do not know the actual IP address of the application server. No client IP visibility. The application server does not know the client's actual IP address. Reduced attack surface. Users can access only the applications explicitly allowed through policy. This follows the principle of least privilege. Understanding ZPA components. Before looking at the packet flow, let's understand the major components involved in ZPA. 1. Zscaler Client Connector, ZCC. Zscaler Client Connector is a lightweight application installed on end-user devices. This component is mandatory for users who need access to private applications through ZPA. Its responsibilities include user authentication, receiving application policies, intercepting DNS requests, intercepting application traffic, and establishing secure tunnels towards Zscaler Cloud. 2. Broker, Service Edge. The broker is a cloud-hosted Zscaler component. All user traffic enters the broker first. The broker acts as the policy enforcement point. Its responsibilities include user authentication validation, access policy evaluation, allowing or denying application access, and connecting users with appropriate app connectors. The broker never directly hosts applications. Its role is mainly policy enforcement and traffic orchestration. 3. App Connector. The App Connector is deployed close to the applications. It can be installed in a data center, in a private cloud, or in a public cloud environment. The App Connector is responsible for communicating directly with the application servers. Organizations can deploy multiple app connectors for high availability, load balancing, and regional access. 4. Dispatcher. The dispatcher is a cloud component maintained by Zscaler. Its primary responsibility is identifying the correct app connector that can serve a particular application. Whenever access is requested, the dispatcher determines which app connector has connectivity to the application and which app connector should be used for that user session. The dispatcher then instructs the app connector to establish connectivity through the appropriate broker. End-to-end ZPA connection flow. Now let's walk through the complete connection process. Assume that the ZPA administrator has configured an application, bbc.com, and granted access to a particular user. Step 1. User logs into ZCC. The user signs in to the Zscaler client connector. If ZPA access is enabled for that user, ZCC establishes communication with the Zscaler cloud. The broker validates user identity, group membership, and access policies. Once authenticated, ZCC downloads application access policies. These policies include the allowed FQDNs, for example, bbc.com. Step 2. User accesses the application. The user opens a browser and enters bbc.com. Normally, the operating system would perform a DNS lookup. However, ZCC intercepts this request before it reaches a DNS server. Step 3. Synthetic IP assignment. Instead of returning the actual application IP address, ZCC assigns a synthetic IP address. The synthetic IP range is configured by the administrator in the ZPA portal. A commonly used range is 100.64.0.0/16. For example, bbc.com maps to 100.64.1.1. The operating system now believes that bbc.com resides at 100.64.1.1. Notice that the client never learns the real server IP address. Step 4. Connection tagging. Before sending the connection to the Zscaler cloud, ZCC internally maps the synthetic IP to the actual application. It assigns a unique application identifier, for example, application bbc.com, tag ID 54454. This tag allows ZPA to identify which application the user is trying to access. Step 5. Traffic reaches the broker. The client now initiates a TCP connection. The SYN packet is generated toward 100.64.1.1. ZCC intercepts this traffic and securely forwards it to the broker. The broker examines user identity, user group, application policy, and access permissions. If access is not allowed, the connection is blocked. If access is allowed, processing continues. Step 6. Broker contacts dispatcher. The broker now needs to determine which app connector can serve the requested application. The broker contacts the dispatcher. The dispatcher checks application configuration, connector groups, and available app connectors. It identifies the most appropriate app connector. Step 7. Dispatcher notifies app connector. The dispatcher informs the selected app connector that a user wants access to the application. It also provides information about the broker handling the session. Step 8. App connector builds tunnel. The app connector initiates an outbound secure connection to the same broker. This is a very important design principle. No inbound firewall rules are required. The app connector only establishes outbound connections. At this point, ZCC has a tunnel to the broker. App connector has a tunnel to the broker. The broker becomes the meeting point. Step 9. Application traffic flow. The traffic path now becomes user to ZCC to broker to app connector and finally to the application. The application response follows the reverse path. This process remains completely transparent to the user. The user simply accesses the application as if it were directly reachable. Why client cannot see server IP? The client never receives the actual application IP address. Instead, it receives a synthetic IP such as 100.64.1.1. Therefore, DNS responses are synthetic, internal IP addresses remain hidden, and the network topology remains invisible. This significantly improves security. Why server cannot see client IP? The application server never communicates directly with the client. The app connector establishes the connection to the application. Therefore, from the application's perspective, the source IP is the app connector IP and not the actual client IP. As a result, client IP remains hidden and user devices remain invisible to application servers. Prerequisites. For successful ZPA deployment, the following connectivity requirements must be met. User network requirements. Any firewall between the user and the internet must allow outbound communication to Zscaler brokers. Without this connectivity, ZCC cannot establish sessions. App Connector Network Requirements. The App Connector Network must allow outbound communication toward Zscaler cloud services and brokers. No inbound connectivity is required. This simplifies firewall configuration and improves security. Summary. Let's quickly summarize. Traditional VPN provides network-level access and exposes internal infrastructure. ZPA provides application-level access based on zero-trust principles. Key benefits of ZPA: access only to authorized applications, no network exposure, no server IP visibility to users, no client IP visibility to servers, reduced attack surface, and no inbound firewall requirements. The connection flow is user to ZCC, to broker, to dispatcher, to app connector, and finally to the application. This architecture enables secure, scalable, and zero-trust access to private applications. Thanks for watching this video. You can reach us through Instagram and Telegram for mock interview scheduling and network interview guidance. See you in the next video. Happy learning!